AEW are reportedly in talks with Hangman Adam Page over an extension to his current contract. Kota Ibushi hopes he will have talks with Tony Khan soon about possibly coming into All Elite Wrestling. Dax Harwood announced that his FTR podcast is now coming to an end. Taz says enough with the drama in All Elite Wrestling. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa will never get along, according to Tony Khan. Justin Roberts reveals why he's going to be missing AEW Dynamite this evening, and more AEW House Rules events have been announced. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. Better late than never. I promise you an AEW news video, and even though we're not even that far away from showtime right now, I'm delivering one. We've got plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about Hangman Adam Page, because a big update when it comes to Hangman's future in All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, is looking to lock up Adam Hangman Page. Fightful Select is reporting that they have learned that Hangman Adam Page and AEW are in the process of working towards a potential new contract. Hangman Page was not only one of the original signings, but one of the people involved with announcing the formation of the company on January 1st, 2019, though he wasn't given the executive vice president status that the likes of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Cody Rhodes were given at the time. Those that Fightful spoke to said that the negotiations started fairly recently, and there doesn't seem to be much of a timetable on when that could get done and when it could get signed, sealed, and delivered, as it were. Page has the same representation as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, probably Barry Bloom, who have also been in the process of negotiations regarding extending their deals as of late as well. This looks to be a real integral period for All Elite Wrestling, as they have the looming return of CM Punk. They're negotiating extensions for a lot of top talent. If you believe MJF, he's going to be involved in the bidding war of 2024. They have some of their biggest shows on the horizon. Of course, they have Double or Nothing. They have All In at London Stadium, Wembley Stadium in London, rather. It's late. Also, as well, they have All Out, possibly at the United Center in Chicago. They've got Forbidden Door in Canada. They've also got the upcoming media rights negotiations with Warner Bros. Discovery, even though it looks like they're going to be extended. So we're entering a really crucial period in AEW history, in its young history, certainly, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when it comes to Hangman. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below when it comes to Hangman's future. Do you expect him to stick around in All Elite Wrestling? What do you think his future looks like with CM Punk returning? We know the Elites aren't keen on working with CM Punk. Would Hangman be keen on working with Punk? Of course, Hangman was involved in all of that. He's not really spoken about that much, but of course he was spoken about by Punk in that post, in that media scrum, that now infamous media scrum after All Out last year. Of course, he worked with CM Punk, and he and CM Punk had issues. CM Punk called him out on his return to AEW on that promo on Dynamite. Of course, Hangman did the Workers' Rights promo on CM Punk as well. Let me know your thoughts on all of it in the comment section below. And one person that could be coming in soon is Kota Ibushi to All Elite Wrestling. Former New Japan Pro Wrestling star Kota Ibushi has fueled rumors about an AEW move, noting he wants to talk to AEW President Tony Khan. Since Ibushi's exit from New Japan in February, it has been heavily speculated that he will eventually wrestle for AEW, given his connection to his Golden Lover tag team partner, AEW Executive Vice President Kenny Omega. Ibushi has now indicated that he's hopeful that AEW will contact him soon. Speaking with Dark Perusu Flocion, Ibushi noted that he's currently speaking with Omega regularly, hoping that Tony Khan will soon become a contact. Ibushi said, quote, "Recently, Kenny and I have been talking about things other than games. For example, are your knees okay, or is your shoulder okay? Also, I hope to be in contact with Tony soon." Following his separated shoulder injury in October 2021, Ibushi returned to the ring earlier this year at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9 in March. He also wrestled at Joey Janela's Spring Break 7, defeating Janela in singles action. Clarification recently emerged about Kenny Omega's status amid contract speculation about him. Conan had speculated that Omega had re-signed with AEW. That's been disputed and debunked. He's still in negotiations, though, to extend his contract with the promotion, but Kota Ibushi, could you see him signing with AEW soon in the near future, given what's going on with WWE, this unofficial, if it's even real, hiring freeze? Do you think Ibushi is going to end up in All Elite Wrestling? Let me know your thoughts once again in the comment section below. Now, we had heard of a big announcement regarding Dax Harwood's FTR podcast was coming this week, and it has been revealed today that the podcast is now coming to an end. AEW World Tag Team Champion Dax Harwood has now announced that the FTR with Dax Harwood podcast is now indeed coming to a close. On the latest episode of the podcast, titled Anxiety, Harwood explained that he and Matt Kuhn believed the podcast was doing more bad than good for pro wrestling. Howard also noted that the podcast was having a negative effect on his mental health. Explaining their decision to end the project, Howard said, quote, "When we started this podcast, we just wanted to do good for wrestling. I was looking forward to, and I still did, looking forward to bringing my thoughts on psychology, in-ring action, what I thought was good wrestling, my love for Bret Hart, and break down some of the things that we had done in our career and some of our biggest moments. Never in a million years, I knew that we probably would ruffle a few feathers. I know that I can. I want to apologize to not only my fans, I want to apologize to the people who already didn't like me and fans of, for example, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, fans of MJF, or anybody else who I may have upset. I want to apologize to them because I never wanted you to hate me so much that you would say some of the things you said to me. Going into this podcast, I never thought that would happen, and I hate that it happened. Again, I thought I was way more mentally tough than I am, but I admit that I'm not, and I don't think I can handle some of the things that I said. I also don't want to know if my daughter 10 years from now to read some of the things that are being said about me, but ultimately we all wanted to do good for wrestling, and I don't think that this podcast, as much as we tried, as hard as we tried, I don't think the podcast was reflecting that for whatever reason." Matt Kuhn stated that AEW did not pressure Harwood to end the podcast. Harwood and Wheeler recently signed new deals with AEW in which they have admitted they expect to be their last contracts in wrestling. So unfortunately, if you're fans of the podcast, it's now come to an end, and I guess we're going to hear less of Dax Harwood in the podcast medium, only on AEW television, I guess, moving forward, and I guess in the occasional interview that he does. Now, Taz, there's a lot of drama going on in AEW, and I think Taz may have had enough of it. Amid the ongoing rumours and speculation about a potential CM Punk return to AEW, the topic of the all-out media scrum has returned to the forefront of wrestling discussion. The recent reports claim that AEW will be introducing a brand separation with the launch of a new Saturday night show, likely named Collision. In order to keep the Elite and CM Punk apart, they do not want to work with each other. Ahead of tonight's AEW Dynamite show, Taz took it to his Instagram to send a rather short but effective message to those in the AEW locker room that may have any lingering issues with each other. F the drama, F the bullshit, it's exhausting and soft. Just line up, shut up, and when the whistle blows, go hard. Now, I guess Taz, like maybe some or a lot of people, have had enough of the drama in AEW. Have you had enough of it? I think Taz has. But speaking of the drama, speaking of F the drama, going back into the drama, as former AEW Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa nears a return from her injury, talk of issues between her and Britt Baker have re-emerged. Of course, they've re-emerged thanks to the All Access show as well. Rosa recently commented on Busted Open Radio, where she commented on the latest comments from Baker on the AEW All Access reality show. AEW President Tony Khan appeared on Busted Open Radio, where he addressed Rosa's injury status and what the future holds for her in the company. He said, quote, "Well, we'll have to see. Thunder Rosa is not cleared to return to the ring yet. When she is, certainly we'll welcome her back with open arms in AEW. It has been an interesting situation. Some of that stuff I think should stay behind closed doors, but that's where All Access does give fans a great chance to see what happens behind the scenes. So we'll have some more All Access taking a look at what happens backstage when Thunder Rosa comes back to AEW. Khan then spoke on the reports that Rosa had apologized to the AEW locker room before saying that her and Britt are never going to get along. He added, quote, "I know that the locker room and Thunder Rosa at times have had some stuff. I also think that should be largely between everyone that was in the room. There is a point of All Access where I have to make a decision and say, okay, this is as much access as anyone who is backstage would reasonably get. So you'll see me making some tough choices about what we do and don't show. I do think that in the future, Thunder Rosa is a great wrestler and has been a great champion in AEW. I look forward to having her back, and she's done a lot through the things we would ask on the path to return and try to make amends with some people, but there are some things you can't amend. There are some people that are never going to get along. There are some people that are never going going to be friends. Dr. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa are not ever going to be friends. They are not ever going to get along. As for what the future is with them, I would say it's probably going to be an intense rivalry for as long as both of them are wrestling. These are not two people that are ever going to be buddies, but it's something to follow for sure. Thunder Rosa, we look forward to having her back in the ring. So Tony Khan basically saying, look, there are some people that are never going to get along. And to be honest, is he wrong with that? You know, history in pro wrestling has been filled with people that haven't got along but can do business. And is that what Tony Khan is essentially hinting at just there? Now, we have another episode of AEW Dynamite this evening, but Justin Roberts, the longtime AEW ring announcer, is not going to be there. AEW ring announcer Justin Roberts is set to miss tonight's edition of AEW Dynamite. Roberts will be absent from this week's taping after testing positive for COVID-19. The AEW name took to Instagram to share a photo of 4 positive COVID tests, noting that he'll be social distancing from Dynamite. Roberts captioned his post, quote, "The look when you're absolutely positive you can't fly to work for a few more days. Social distancing from Dynamite tomorrow like it's 2020. Look forward to watching on TBS at 8 p.m. and getting back next week." So unfortunately, Justin Roberts isn't going to be able to make it this evening, and we wish him to get healthy soon, and hopefully he'll be back next week. Finally, some more AEW House Rules shows have been announced. AEW has announced 2 more House Rules live events for June, following the first show last month. The promotion held its first House Rules house show on March 18 in Troy, Ohio. Following the event, there was a lot of speculation about the future of AEW house shows before the company announced that they will bring the House Rules series to Canada in July. It has now been revealed that before then, AEW will host 2 House Rules events on US soil. AEW has announced shows for June 2nd and 3rd. The June 2nd show will take place at the Cadence Back Arena in Tupelo, Mississippi. The June 3rd show will be held at the Von Braun Center Von Braun Center Propst Arena, that's a long name, in Huntsville, Alabama. Several top AEW names were in action at the March 18 show, including Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. AEW Vice President of Talent Development, Pat Buck, also wrestled at this event, making his in-ring debut for the promotion. He actually made his televised in-ring debut last night on AEW Dark. As far as names announced for the shows, I'm not sure we've got that just yet, but of course, once we get those names, we'll let you know. So there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.